our best shot, and we're going to see if this is any better. I've had a friend who's been helping me um, get the camera working, get the audio working, get everything kind of back together. I really don't want to do lives through Zoom unless I'm interviewing people, because I feel like it just loses something in the translation. So today I wanted to talk to you about, in the course now, that's when all the messages have to start rolling through. I must have moved the mouse through my... Anyway, Lance's birthday was on Wednesday. It's been 3 years since he's passed away. And I really have thought a lot about where I was and where I'm going. One of the things I chose to do for myself is I joined Winged River Writer, which is Chloe Rachel Galloway's her writing class, Birth Your Book in 9 months. And I'm 2 classes into this course. 2. And I'm already choking. And I don't mean it's because it's so hard, but it's hard. You have all these little snippets that you put down in your mind that you want to put on paper that you think would be really good to say in a book. And then you forget them. And you can't find where your little pieces are. And they don't fit in with a time-sequenced memoir. And you're struggling with how to write this so that I don't sound like it's me talking, because if anybody ever listened to me, first off, they know potty mouth, and they also know that I struggle with having had a stroke. Things don't always come out with me correctly. So even though I type like that, and even though I don't go back through and proofread, sometimes it can be a hot mess, but my intentions are good. So I joined this course, and one of the hardest things about joining it was making the commitment to take everything else but me off the table for the next year. And that's what I'm doing. I can't help anybody go any further if I'm struggling myself, and I need to grow. I have a voice, and I need to use it for what works in my work. A lot of you don't realize, even what I do, you think, oh, she's just the owner of Resonant Essentials, and some psychic, some medium, some whatever. But there's a lot more to me than that. I'm a lot deeper. And it's time that I put Lance's death aside and start tapping into that. He really challenged me with his death. And I'm sharing this because I think that we're at a time that a lot of challenges have come our way. And with those challenges, we've had a lot of division. And I don't talk about a little division. Last night we were here in the center for the business meet and greet. And some of the younger women were asking some of us older women, well, back in the 70s, you guys had, there was such great division. And it's like, no, it wasn't like this. It was done and then made worse because nothing got healed. And so we had another 40 years of stewing in this energy. Well, actually 60, because you go back to 1960s. So you had 60 years of women's rights failing, LGBTQ rights failing, racial discrimination, and actually supposed to be affirmative actions failing because we neglected to complete everything. We thought it was all done. And I think it's just another level. And I think that that's where we're at right now. So watching this and going through and seeing where all these things come from, I've realized that, I really had to do the final push through Lance's death. Now, don't get me wrong, I still go cringy when I see a picture of him. It hits me occasionally, not always, but sorry, my allergies are killing me. My throat's really raw. But his death was perfect timing. And damn. But perfect timing is not always perfect timing for others. So going through this, last Friday night before I got to Lance's birthday, I went out and had ice cream with a couple of friends, and we were talking. Why do you think we were here? One of us was really, why am I here? Why am I here? This is horrid. I'm struggling. And she was doing it in a joking manner. It wasn't like she was on falling to pieces, but she was definitely on edge with what the heck. And, we were struggling trying to put it into words when the next day, with perfect synchronicity, might I add, Michael Rhodes had posted something on his page. I highly suggest you go over and join his page. He puts out some really great stuff. But he had this meme. And in this meme, he does his Michael's musings. And on this meme it said, do you really believe that millions of evolved souls would say yes to coming to Earth just to die in a totalitarian New World Order? Absolutely not. He goes on to say, we came to flip this world upside down, back to its original state and more. We came here for the new Earth, for world peace, for the immortal golden age, for a new Eden. We came here for nothing less than to send a wave of light across the universe, signaling the birth of a new order of divine justice, peace, compassion, and love. And I thought, we forget that aspect of it. We get stuck in our 3D thinking, oh, gotta pay the bills. Oh, Susie hurt my feelings. Oh, I gotta run over here because, I twisted my ankle. Oh, the dog got sick and barfed all over the living room floor. And we get caught up in those 3D thought processes, and we allow ourselves to become victims to it. We do. And we allow to look at other people as though they're the abusers. Okay? And we don't even have to be involved in the situation, but we have chosen the bully in the group. And I really thought about this long and hard. And what do you do? And how does it do? Well, believe it or not, we're actually here to inspire each other to get to that new world order of love, compassion, peace, divine justice. That's what we're here for. We're here because we have something special to give. All of us do. And we're here to get pushed to be better than we are, cumulatively speaking, in all our lives. We're here to open up the door to the higher consciousness. And if you think that it's just a push of an elevator button to take you up, well, let me know where the elevator is, because I'll take it with you. Let's see where we go, because actually it's a lot of deep soul searching, gut wrenching inner work that drags us face down through cactus. Yeah. Because we still live in the mortal world. So our spiritual bodies are saying, hey, you're better than this, you can make it, you're okay. And our physical body says, please don't hurt my feelings anymore. Don't let my leg hurt anymore. Don't let my head hurt anymore. Don't let my wife, my husband go through any more suffering. Please bring my child back from the dead. Because that's kind of what we do. But the problem is we're not listening to each other. We blame each other. And I got to thinking really hard, because I really wanted to push through and let this be the last year that I tried clinging to my son in a way that was unhealthy for both of us. So even though we know that we're here mutually creating what the other person needs, we also know that they are there creating for us what we need. And it's all about our healing. It's all about letting go of the perceived illusion of righteous indignation. Because we can all stand on that pedestal and be righteously indignant. We can all look at each other and point a finger and say, it's all your fault. Well, we know the finger thing, 3 coming back. I know, really old joke, but that's okay. What we also know is that we could do this so much simpler without the drama if we just agreed not to do it in drama, but we're kind of pig-headed that way. Because, we were ingrained to think nothing happens unless you work hard for it. Nothing changes unless you suffer. Oh my God, get off the cross. Get Joan of Arc. That woman was magnificent. She martyred herself to show people they don't have to martyr themselves, to stop people from doing what we were doing. I loved her in stories. Probably one of the few figures of her time that I ever really went, yes! She would make it through the streets to say, hey, do this. Stand up. I'd like to think there's a little Joan of Arc inside of all of us. But we did. We came into this agreement with each other. And it's hard. You see, my family, while I was growing up, was extremely dysfunctional. And within me was created some dysfunctional traits. I hate confrontation, so when I do confrontation, it often comes out as a snarky bite. Well, I know quite a few people who do it that way because nobody likes confrontation. Some people have learned to handle it better by saying, this really hurt my feelings. But in my family, if you said this hurt my feelings, that was a perceived weakness, and then the knife was in your hand. You got it. It was pretty rough. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I know that that's really silly, but those traits, even though it made me dysfunctional for a while, it also gave me something to fight about or against to change. And people can still trigger those traits in each other. When we think we've healed the layers of the onion, boy, somebody comes along and shows us, peel it again. That onion is like the great pumpkin-sized onion. It's like huge. It's like the world's largest pumpkin onion because it goes that deep. And we have to go that deep too. So even though it would be nice if we did these things through gentleness and we're able to say, yeah, you hurt my feelings. And somebody go, I'm really sorry. Because, I tell people, I try to, I'm in a really bad place. I don't mean to be snappy. I don't mean to be ugly. I'm sorry if I am. Please forgive me. I certainly don't mean it, but I'm in a really bad space right now. And then I work at trying to be in a better place and consciously think my way out of that space. And sometimes it's a real dark hole. And sometimes we get triggered to be in that dark hole. But growth doesn't happen and you stay up here like this. Even the greatest metaphysical minds slide into the dark hole once in a while. Maybe a quick bounce for them, but they do. And we can narrow it down from days into moments. Then we could be a great metaphysical mind too. I'm in hours for me right now. Mine is hours. So I realized that waking up included my parents' dysfunction, my siblings' dysfunctions. And I also realized they loved me enough on a spiritual level to be the biggest asshole they could to me. Yeah. Because then I learned a lot. Lance also had his daddy issues. Joseph beat Lance to the grave by 9 years? 9 years. So Lance came into a dad who was extremely dysfunctional, who had abandoned him basically as a child, at birth basically, and that was their agreement. And then he died. So there's no chance to reconcile. See, a lot of people who are alcoholics go into recovery and they make amends to those kids that they kind of trashed, left in dysfunctional abyss. But he didn't do that. He didn't get sober in time for Lance to come through and work on himself. And maybe that wasn't necessary, okay? Because Lance died 9 years later. But he had changed prior to his dad dying. He had done a lot of changes, and he was a much better dad for his child than he ever was given as his father was ever for him. I, of course, was the mom that tried, but I had my own dysfunction. And I guess that was part of our agreement. Just like the agreement that he died on me. Okay? Just like the agreement that he chose death and he transitioned, and it made me walk through this really dark night of the soul. Did I want to continue in metaphysics? Did I believe what I said? Of course I did. Of course my son had to die, and then I had to prove to myself reincarnation was real, because I knew it. I knew it with my grandmother when she died. I knew it with my grandfather when he died. I knew it with my mother, my father. I knew everybody. Everything was fine until him. And that was the biggest test of my faith. It was also the biggest test of my sanity. And it has been a slow, brutal walk through. And I see the light. I see the light. And I'm happy for my light. Because Lance loved me enough to bring me to my knees for my own healing. So instead of taking his death personal, I had to take it the way it was offered in love. So instead of taking things personal from each other, instead of judging each other, we need to love each other and let it go. Because whatever that person does that so hurts your feelings, they're still beautiful light beings. They're worthy of love. Every person out there is a metaphysical being within. And they are worthy. That metaphysical beingness is worthy of our love. We do not have to condone the actions. We do not even have to like the actions. We don't have to like somebody who is a pedophile. His actions were not tolerable. They're not on our same wavelength. But we can come from the heart of universal love and love the special metaphysical beingness found within that person. You don't have to like the 3D aspect at all. I'm not saying that. But remember, to those people that have hurt us the most, they loved you so much that they were willing to hurt you to bring your healing. It's hard. These next few months are going to be brutal for some people. And they deserve our kindness. And we deserve theirs. We deserve the opportunity to come full circle into the special beingness of who we are. And we should be supporting that from each other. Not running, not being nasty, not hiding from our own beingness. If you can't let other people see it, I want you to let you see it. I want you to see and say to yourself, I have within me a beautiful, loving, special, metaphysical beingness that's going to change the frequency of this third dimensional body. Because I'm going to choose to love through that metaphysical beingness instead of hate through the human heart. We're going to heal the heart. We're going to heal the mind. We're going to heal the spirit. And we can do that. So I want you guys to think about these things as the holidays come and we're kind of up against the wall. What are our beliefs? Who do we want to spend it with? How much do we want to check in with each other? So what I guess I'm saying here is that I think that you're amazing. I think that you deserve all the love in the world. And my heart loves you. My special beingness, metaphysical being, loves the metaphysical being in you. Because I've been having so much trouble with Facebook, I'm also going over to YouTube. So I will put the link in there for the Resonant Essentials. I'm going to be teaching classes, free classes, online to help you get wherever you want. I figured this is a platform I could have some kind of big monitor that I could see comments and we could be more interactive than we can here on Facebook. So I'll put the link in the comments. You'll still be able to see all your lives. Sorry. And everybody here doing their work, they'll also be over there. Their videos will be uploaded over there, so you can rewatch theirs if you found something that they said powerful enough to want to go view it again. So I also want to tell you that I'll be doing some interviews with people that I find from all kinds of walks of life that I find fascinating people, because I think we need to start celebrating the goodness and the happiness and the amazing stuff that people are doing out there. So if you want to be live on YouTube with me, give me a holler. You can message me through Facebook, or you can email me at michelle@resonantessentials.com. Coming up next week, the center is going to be closed on the 11th. Okay, I have a special program. I'm not sure if Tina will be with her shop open, but Resonant Essentials won't have anybody here working because I'm doing a special event. Now, I'm looking at my calendar. Don't forget, on the 17th is Christine's guided meditation with sound. And on the 18th is our Ancestor Access. And on the 19th, we're going to do a full moon circle for the Beaver Moon. And our psychic fair is this weekend on the 14th. No, wait, next weekend. Sorry, it's just the 5th. I keep thinking I'm halfway through this Scorpio mess. I had to call Johanna and say, what's going on? I had neighbors doing things on both sides and fire and ice. Whew, and the dog barking at the skunks. Anyway, I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, and I hope to see you in one or two of the events. We will talk with you soon. Bye now.